Kenya Power has been forced to ration electricity due to reduced supply in what has forced the country to increasingly rely on Ethiopia and Uganda to shore up supplies. President William Ruto made this stark admission on Tuesday, revealing that Kenya Power has been forced to cut off electricity supplies to some regions between 5 p.m. and 10 p.m. as the country grappled with reduced local generation and an aging transmission network. NTV's Brian George reports.
Local generation of electricity in recent years has nearly stagnated, leading to a reduced local supply. The surge in demand has forced Kenya Power to import more from Ethiopia and Uganda, with the share of imported electricity in the national grid more than doubling in the year ended June 2025.
If we have to industrialize, if we have to engage in manufacturing, we need minimum 10,000 megawatts of energy. And we need it like yesterday.
Rationing of electricity is used to prevent overloads on the system and countrywide blackouts whenever supply is lower than demand.
Since 2018, Kenya Power has not signed any new power purchasing agreements after a freeze by Cabinet at the time, a freeze that was extended by Parliament. At the time, Cabinet said that that freeze was to allow for scrutiny of these ostensibly expensive power purchasing agreements. Now that is what has caused that major imbalance in supply and demand.
Imports accounted for 10.6% or 1.53 billion units of the 14.38 billion units bought by Kenya Power in the year ended June 2025, up from 4.87% in June 2023 and 1% in 2021. Peak demand for electricity grew by 243 megawatts between 2022 and August this year, while local generation has increased marginally due to the freeze on the new power purchasing agreements. The highest peak demand remains 2,392 megawatts, which was recorded in August this year amid increased connections and economic activities. Demand for electricity in Kenya is highest between 1900 hours and 2100 hours, the time when Kenya Power is forced to cut off some regions in order to protect the grid. The Ministry of Energy has not responded to queries on the regions most affected by the load shedding and the amount of additional electricity needed to end this crisis.
Kenya Power now says it needs billions of shillings to also revamp its system to be able to sustain that surge in power demand. Brian George, NTV, Nairobi.